All right, hello everybody. I'm going to walk through the new lobby real quick and just show you everything that's going on here. This is your new leaderboard. We got a little button down here for Twitch drops to activate those whenever they have drops. I've been told that currently only the Kinetic partners have the Twitch drops activated or are going to get the drops. I'm activated, but I don't think my drops are going to work on the stream that I'm going to be doing in about 20 minutes. But this part hasn't changed. This is still the same. What's changed is our trophy cases. Look at this. So I guess these are most of your achievements. So now instead of like 3 skulls for the apocalypse, now it's just the 1. Then different trophies. So like no more training wheels, extra mile, boss, fully loaded, director, like, you know, getting up to prestige. Basically, it's the highest of each thing. Like, you know, you had prestige 2, you had prestige 3. Now you just get a prestige 3. The bait, I believe, is the banshee. Then you also get then you get a skull for each ghost, which honestly, these trophies are actually kind of cool. Now what I'm waiting for to see is, you know, where are they gonna put the new trophy case? You know, more trophy cases, because I mean, we've got more events coming up, and now we don't have room. Unless it's just going to replace. No, it's going to replace, because those are all what we've had. So yeah, I'm not really sure. But let's go ahead and go over the update also. But this is the new lobby. So this is the new lobby. Our lovely little trophy from before everything got changed. All right, so this is the new patch, Chronicle Phasmophobia version 0.13. Welcome back, Ghost Hunters. We've got an update for you. Today we're excited to release Chronicle, Phasmophobia's latest major update. With this update, one of our biggest ever, we're reinventing what it means to get a perfect investigation, the way to record media, and much more. The update is now live for Steam, PlayStation 5, PlayStation VR 2, and Xbox Series X and S. Read on to find out what's in store the next time you play. Media. The core of the Chronicle update is our complete rework of how media is gathered and rewarded in Phasmophobia. A brand new piece of equipment has been added along with 2 new types of media, videos and sound recordings, as well as revamped challenges and progression systems. So photos. In addition to the above, the photo system has seen adjustments. Maximum photos a player can take in an investigation is reduced from 10 to 5. New types of photos can be gathered, EMF reading on an EMF reader, 3 ghost forms, physical, dots, and shadow. The photo types below have been removed to video media and will no longer be able to be photographed. Light switches, door movements, thrown objects, and ghost interactions with various objects. So here you go. You got dots ghost, which is a photo. And you got footprint, EMF reading, voodoo doll, bone. So yeah, so I think what's going to happen. So do you know how the, like, one of our questions on this was going to be, are they going to fix the photo priority? I think this is their answer to it. Is they really can't fix it, so they're just kind of changing it this way, so you're not having to deal with it. Plus, you also got 3 deletes, so it really shouldn't really come into play that much. Right, videos. The first new, I mean, we'll find out. The first new media type introduced in Chronicle is video recording. Using the video camera, players can capture a video during an investigation. A total of 5 videos can be captured in a single investigation. To capture a video footage, players will need to hold down the use button while aiming the camera at the spot they wish to record. A new icon will display on the video camera, encouraging the player to record. The only thing I can see on this is people getting used to only carrying the camera for like certain things and then picking up the video camera for other things. So I think that's going to be one of the things that people are going to have to figure out, is how to change back and forth with video camera and camera for things. So below is a selection of recordable media during an investigation. hunting ghost, ghost triggering crucifix, ghost orbs, thrown objects, doors being moved, ghost interacting with objects, rocking chairs, gas canisters, etc. A light source shattering, ghost blowing out a candle or fire, or more to discover. So in reality, towards the end of a hunt, you're going to be probably carrying a smudge stick, the camera, and the video camera. Hey, Lord Ruja, I am doing Phasmophobia, going over the update. Sounds. The new sound media type is linked to Phasmophobia's newest piece of equipment. The sound recorder using the new piece of equipment, players will be able to capture up to 3 sounds per contract. These are able to be played back from the sounds page in the journal. The sound recorder itself will be available from level 4, with its tier 2, tier 3 iterations available at later levels. The sound recorder can capture the below sounds during investigation: paranormal sounds, a hunting ghost, singing ghost events, spirit box responses, and more to discover. CCTV, we have overhauled the CCTV system found within the truck during investigation. The CCTV interface has been split into 3 sections: CCTV cameras, video cameras, and head cameras. This is actually kind of cool. Players can view up to 5 different live camera feeds at once. While using CCTV interface, players can record video media from the safety of the truck. So this is actually cool. So if you've actually got a person that is a dedicated, that is kind of your dedicated van person, they can be getting all the, set up all your cameras, and they can do all the recordings, which actually is kind of cool and gives your van person something to actually do while they're in the van. So that's actually kind of cool that they can actually record from the van. All right, unique media. An important part of this update is to create a more immersive ghost hunting experience by removing some other frustrations players encounter while capturing media. Replace the 3-star system, the rating system, with unique duplicate system. During a contract, the first time a piece of media is captured, it is marked unique. If the same piece of media is captured, it will receive a duplicate mark and reward less money and experience. To achieve a perfect investigation alongside usual requirements, players must fill their journal with unique media only. Up to 3 pieces of media can now be deleted during investigation, up from 2 previously. So yeah, so no more, you gotta have unique. Rewards and progression. Chronicle introduces changes to the overall rewards and progression system. Rewards using higher tiers of the photo camera, video camera, and sound recorder will reward players with an additional monetary bonus per piece of media. So $1 for tier 2, $2 for tier 3. All media rewards are now included in the reward multiplier. Oh, that's kind of cool. Progression, equipment, and their corresponding tiers are now unlocked earlier. Tier upgrades are now unlocked in groups of 2 or 3, giving players a choice of which upgrade path to follow first. Example, Crucifix Tier 3 and Incense Tier 3 are both available to unlock at level 80 instead of 90 and 85 respectively. These changes will allow players to have options for upgrading equipment instead of forcing a linear upgrade path, which is very cool. Challenges and optional objectives. So another part of the Chronicle update is our review of optional objectives and in-game challenges. While the rotational challenges will remain the same, we now have the ability to introduce unique challenges throughout the year. These could include update launch challenges such as On Record, live as of 24th June. Progress from Lights Out will be wiped and replaced with On Record, so it means I have to do the weekly again. Increased XP events, equipment-focused challenges, sound recorder, video camera. These changes to the challenge system also allow us to override challenges if an issue is found during any given week, which is kind of good. With optional objectives, we've made several adjustments, introducing new challenges and changing existing ones. Further changes and improvements to optional objectives will be made in future update. New, capture 3 unique photos with a photo camera, capture 3 unique videos with a video camera, capture 2 unique paranormal sounds with a sound recorder, capture a video of the ghost, and changed, find evidence of paranormal activity with an EMF reader has now been changed to capture a photo of the EMF reading on an EMF reader. Oh, that's going to actually change things also on, because a lot of times I would get the EMF, get an EMF reading away from the EMF. Like I could be walking back to the van and get that objective if the ghost did something with the EMF back in the room. So now I'm going to have to be in the room for this. All right, while the meat of the Chronicle focuses on a reworked media system, this update brings with it a host of meaningful changes, bug fixes, and various other improvements. Read on to find out what else is new for Phasmophobia. New user interface improvements. The main menu has been reworked while retaining the same functionality. Players can now set play style, casual, hardcore, and roleplay in hardware preferences, VR required, and microphone required when creating a room. Players can now filter by the above options and difficulties on the lobby browser. Players can now see the difficulty or multiplier of using a custom difficulty of a lobby when browsing the room browser. Players can now see the currently selected map of a room from the room browser. And when using text options instead of voice recognition, the relevant gamepad UI buttons now flash when pressed to give visual feedback on button presses. Twitch drops are now live. For more information, see the blog. Mini new sounds. Check. Ooh, I'm looking forward to the mini new sounds. Check your trophy cabinets. We already did. VR players can now grab doors from any position on the door instead of just door handle. This allows for much smoother and easier movement. Added a virtual cursor sensitivity option for UI navigation. This can be found in the game settings. You can now go back to the post-game debriefing screen after closing it. Added an auto. Oh, that's kind of cool. I like that. I always forget to check where the bone was when I can't find the bone, and I've already gone by it. Added an auto aim option for gamepads to help grab and interact with objects. Players can now rename their custom difficulties. Changes. The crucifix now visually cools down after successfully preventing a hunt, so that'll be cool to see. Consoles now default to the last selected region rather than the region with lowest ping to match the PC. Phasmophobia will now be able to load on Steam without an internet connection. That is actually very cool. I think that'll make a lot of people happy. Goryo now has increased chance of dots. Banshee can now change rooms. The player will no longer have to click the ready up button in single player. And then there's a long line of fixes, so let's see what they fixed. Oh yeah, Banshee can now change rooms. Yeah, my motion sensor test for Banshee is now irrelevant. See, fixes. Fix an issue in Point Hope that restricted player movement when holding the large pan from the kitchen. Fix the issue would cause salt to be placed in the air. Fix a visual issue where CCTV screensaver would appear outside the monitor. Fix an issue, okay. Issue that caused cursed possessions to be thrown out of the player's reach from Bleasdale Attic. Fixed, okay, there's a long list of this. Let me go to known issues. We aim to fix issues in a future patch. Please keep an eye out for the details and timing. Some trophies may not be visible in the main lobby for players on PlayStation 5, VR2, and Xbox. Will, however, be viewable once the player is in the single player or multiplayer lobby. Okay, so all you gotta do is just go into single player or multiplayer and you'll see your trophies. A recordable sound may spawn in an area that is not accessible to the player. If a video is deleted, the player will be unable to record another video of that type during the same contract. Ooh, okay. Sound recorder is not listed alphabetically in the truck list. Audio levels on several sounds may be too high. Master volume setting does not affect the sound recorder. SFX of the sound recorder can be heard from very far away. High Priestess Tarot card, if drawn, may not revive the player. Oh no. The footsteps of the ghost in training are not audible. There may be higher than expected difficulty in getting audio with sound recorder during ghost hunt events, and the player cannot take photo of the thermometer for freezing temps if the setting is Fahrenheit. Interesting. Well, I use Celsius, but that's interesting. All right, I guess let's go up here and read the fixes. It's a long-ass list. Fix an issue that would cause cursed possessions to be thrown out of players' region. Please Hills Attic. Fix an issue where bones would spawn behind inaccessible locations on the following maps: Tanglewood, Point Hope, Maple Lodge, and Willow Street. An issue allowed for infinite sprinting after using Monkey Paw. Issue for VR players where the Tier 3 Firelight, Tier 3 Instance, and Voodoo Doll would swing oddly when held. Issue where cabinet door would not show as open for non-VR players if opened by a VR player. Issue that prevented headgear from being usable by others if a player was disconnected or died. Issue that prevented dots and motion sensors from being picked up if placed inside static lights. Example, ceiling lights in Grafton Farmhouse. Issue that caused hunts to happen if a player was outside the door on several maps. Issue that caused Hantu breath to be visible after being killed with an extended hunt. Okay. Issue that caused the store to scroll while in the tutorial. Issue that allowed items to be thrown through the outside wall of Ridgeview. Ouija board not to break when asked a question that would take the player below 0 sanity. Items to get stuck behind the TV in Tanglewood's living room. Issue that caused overlapping text when using the Ouija board. Issue that is listed the UV lights in the wrong order in the main menu lobby. Issue that caused flies to be heard when the master volume was set to 0 on Maple Lodge. Where's those flies on Maple Lodge? Oh no, flies, okay, employee room, or employee area. Issue where the ghost could become stuck in lockers in prison. Issue that prevented a player from being killed when hiding behind a chair in prison. Issue that followed the Obaki to walk backwards during a hunt. Okay, we've seen that. So that was a glitch. That wasn't a That wasn't intended. That was just a glitch. Okay. Issue that caused the lights to turn off. We saw that 2 weeks ago. Issue that caused lights to turn off when crucifix is used. Issue that prevented seated VR players being able to reach the breaker box on Sunny Meadows. This has now been adjusted to be reachable. Issue that caused music box to be broken if the player left a previous game while using it. I never ran into that. Issue that caused tier 1 crucifix to be clipped under carpets. Thank you. Issue that caused a ghost to become stuck behind crates during a hunt on Maple Lodge. Issue where the left-handed in VR would correctly swap. Hey Dilly, just going over the patch. Issue where the ghost could begin a ghost event on Maple Lodge and be out of bounds. Visual issue with the camping chair found in the yellow tent in Maple Lodge. UI issue that selected random as a player's map choice when they are navigating menus. An issue that prevented players from mounting video cameras on tripods when playing in VR. Issue that caused music box to flip when placed on a carpet. Issue where other players could see dead VR players' journal. Issue that caused difficulty lighting incense in VR. There's a lot of VR here. Issue in VR that caused a tier 1 flashlight to be angled incorrectly. Attached to player's belt. Issue on VR that when teleport grab is turned off, caused incorrect interactions with doors. Issue for VR players that cause inconsistencies with door handling if grab types were not synced. Issue that allowed the player to stand in small tents, Maple Lodge, Woodwind, and prevent the ghost from killing the player. Yeah, so for all of you guys that have been using that, you might want to check it before you get killed. Issue that caused inconsistencies with the door interaction points in VR for small tents, Maple Lodge, Woodwind. Issue that caused a Ouija board to not provide a correct number when asked how many people are in the room. Issue for legacy players that prevented them from setting legacy options at the EULA splash screen was displayed. Issues in VR training mode that caused interacting problems. Issue that allowed dead players to hear a heartbeat while stood next to the ghost. Oh, thank you. That's got me killed a few times. Issue that caused a player to become unready if they opened the journal while in the multiplayer lobby. Issue in VR where, when using the teleport movement, players would drop all their equipment. Issue where the equipment belonged to a VR player would appear on the floor. I don't know. Floor for non-VR players. I don't know. Maybe VR might be worth checking out. Issue that prevented the riser receiving a speed increase around held electronic equipment. I've actually ran into that a couple times. Issue that caused most deaths to stat to not display correctly for the some users. So I think that mine was broke, I think. Issue that caused a ghost model to not be visible at distance during a hunt. Issue that would cause tripods, we're almost done. Cause tripods to become unusable for players in camera, and if a camera is placed on them by a VR player. Issue display Spirit Box UI when opening the journal, requiring the player to close the game. I think half of these fixes are VR. Issue that prevented players from reporting other players when using a gamepad or playing in VR. Issue when playing VR where fog would remain after using the monkey paw. Reducing vision for the player for the remainder of the game. Audio issue that would play footstep sounds when the player is not moving. Issue that would remove the Apocalypse map selection icon after going in and out of a game. Issue which caused the tick over the Apocalypse icon to now display after completing gold. And various other bugs and fixes improvements. So there you go. So overall, a lot of VR fixes. So for those who play VR, let us know how the fixes are. I don't know. I mean, I've got VR. I just haven't never actually played because every time I've seen someone play VR, all I've seen them do is have frustrations. But this is a long-ass patch, so enjoy it. Right, so this is just put out by Severely. There are a lot of small changes to Ghost that were not listed in the patch notes. Some are now. For example, Banshee can now change rooms. We knew that part. Banshee has new sounds. All Ghosts can do the double door touch and fully slamming a door, not just Yuri. And Goryo has increased dots. I knew, well, the Goryo increased dots was in the patch notes.